Most people think Snapchat is just a place for funny selfies. Photos that disappear in a few seconds, harmless, forgettable. But what if the photo did not disappear? What if someone used it to find you? What if the person sending you snaps was not who you thought they were? And what if they were already outside your window? These are real stories. From real people who picked up their phones one ordinary night and ended up looking evil directly in the face. The app is still on your phone right now. And somewhere out there, someone is watching a story you posted 10 minutes ago. Someone you have never met. Someone who knows exactly where you are. These are the stories that will make you think twice before you open your next notification. The summer of 2015 started like any other summer. Hot days, late nights, and Snapchat opened constantly on my phone. I was 14 years old. And like most 14-year-olds, I spent a lot of time messaging friends through the app. One of my closest friends was a guy I will call Ben. We were on each other's best friends list. We snapped each other almost every single day. So when he went quiet one night, I did not think much of it. I sent him a funny picture. Something stupid, just to get a reaction. He did not open it. I waited a while and sent another one. Still nothing. I happened to be in the app when I finally saw that he opened both of them. Usually he would reply within a minute. That was just how we were. But this time, he did not reply at all. I figured maybe he was busy. Maybe he was eating dinner. Maybe he had just seen the snaps and moved on. I texted him. "What is up?" The message showed delivered within seconds. A red receipt. He had seen it. No reply. I put my phone down. Told myself not to overthink it. Ben was my friend. We did not have that kind of drama. A little while later, I started texting another friend, and somehow Ben's name came up in conversation. And that is when everything changed. My friend told me Ben had lost his phone. I stopped. I made my friend confirm it. He was certain. I called Ben's house phone. His dad picked up. I asked to speak with Ben. Ben came on the line. He confirmed it. His phone was gone, lost somewhere outside. He had no idea where. I told him what had been happening. Someone had his phone. Someone had been opening his Snapchats, reading his texts. Sitting there on the other end with his phone in their hand, reading every word I sent. Ben freaked out. He told me to come over. I did not want to. I wanted to stay inside with my doors locked. Instead, I sent a message to whoever had the phone. I told them to return it. I sent several messages. Every single one showed read, seen, no reply. And then I got a Snapchat. From Ben's phone, I opened it. It was a man I had never seen in my life. He had a wide, unnatural smile stretched across his face. Like something was wrong behind his eyes. Like he was enjoying this. The caption underneath said 3 words, "Coming over." My stomach dropped. I called Ben immediately. I had one question. Did he have any addresses saved on his phone? He went quiet for a second. Then he said yes. He had both of our addresses. While I was still on the phone with Ben, a text came through from the man. "You are good looking." I felt sick. Ben did not have Find My iPhone turned on. There was no way to track the phone. No way to know where this man was or how far away he might be. I told my parents. They told me not to worry. Probably just some kid messing around. I went to bed but barely slept. At 3 in the morning, I woke up. I am not sure what woke me. Some sound at the edge of sleep, something my brain could not quite catch. But the first thing I noticed was the heat. My room was suffocating, hot in a way it should not have been. The air conditioning was running. I could hear it. I sat up and rubbed my eyes. Then a flash of white light filled the room, sharp, blinding, like a camera flash. My eyes screamed with pain. Adjusted to the dark for hours, they could not handle it. I blinked. Struggled to see, turned toward the window. The window was open, and a man was leaning halfway into my bedroom. He had a camera in his hand. He was the same man from Ben's Snapchat, the same smile, the same eyes. I screamed. I do not know what sound came out of me, but it was loud enough to wake the whole street. The man struggled to pull himself back out of the window, and by the time my parents ran into the room, he was already gone. We called the police that night. They tracked Ben's phone. They found the man 2 miles away. He was arrested. Ben got his phone back. And I slept with every window locked for the rest of that summer. I want to tell you a story that did not happen to me directly, but it has stayed with me ever since. I was 13 years old. There was a girl I liked. We had started snapping each other at night. Selfies back and forth. Nothing serious. Just two kids talking. One evening I was watching television when she sent me a snap. She was lying in bed. No caption. Just a casual photo the way you send when you are bored and talking to someone you like. I texted back asking what she was up to. She sent another snap. Same kind of photo. Casual. Comfortable. She captioned it saying not much and asked what I was doing. The timer was set to 10 seconds. I watched the photo countdown, and that is when I saw it. In the background, just barely visible in the darkness behind her, a figure, standing near her window, still, watching her. I messaged her immediately. "Is that your brother by the window?" She sent another snap. Same bedroom, same pose. Same smile on her face with no idea anything was wrong. But the figure was closer now, and I could see a hand pressed flat against the glass. I closed the snap before the timer ran out. My fingers were shaking. I texted her, "There is somebody at your window. Turn around, right now." She opened the message almost immediately. And then she went silent. Minutes passed. I texted her again. No reply. I called her. It rang and rang. I did not have her home number. I did not know her address well enough to call anyone. All I could do was sit there and wait and hope that whatever I had seen was not what I thought it was. At midnight, she finally texted back. She told me what happened. When she read my message, she had turned to look at the window, and she screamed, because there was a man standing outside, a man in his 20s. And the moment she screamed, he opened the window and tried to climb in. She ran to her parents' room and woke her father. By the time they got back, the window was open and the man was gone. Gone into the dark. No trace, no name, nothing. She was safe because of a shadow in the background of a selfie, a shadow that neither of us was supposed to notice, a shadow that the man standing outside her window never thought anyone would see. I still think about that sometimes. How close it came. How the only thing that stopped it was 10 seconds on a timer. This happened about a year ago. I was a senior in high school. It was around 10 at night. My parents had already gone to bed. I was sitting alone at the kitchen table, snapping a few people, half watching something on my phone. Then a notification appeared. Snapchat from Hector. I stared at that name for a moment. I did not know anyone named Hector. I went through my contacts. Nothing. I checked my messages. Nothing. I had never spoken to this person in my life. Random ads happen on Snapchat. People find usernames and send snaps to strangers all the time. I figured it was probably nothing. I did not open it right away. I did not want whoever it was to know I was available. 30 minutes later, another notification. Snapchat from Hector. Something about seeing that name twice made me uneasy. I opened the first one. It was taken inside a dark room. I could barely make anything out. Just the faint outline of a face, slightly darker skin. The photo was dim, like whoever took it did not want to turn on a light. The second snap was taken outside. It showed a street at night. And there was an arm in the frame, pointing down the road. I typed back asking who this was. My message was read immediately. No reply. He added me. I added him back without thinking. His Snapchat score was 5, almost brand new account. He had already watched every single one of my stories. 5 minutes later, another snap, a street I recognized, 2 blocks from my house. I texted some friends I thought might be messing with me. Gaming buddies, people who knew my username. Every single one of them said it was not them. Another notification. My hands were not steady anymore. I opened it. My block. The old lamppost at the corner of my street lit up in the dark, taken from down the road. He was not 2 blocks away anymore. He was right there. I called my friend who lived 2 doors down. Big guy. Calm under pressure. I told him to come over. He came over and we sat on the couch in the dark with the TV on, volume low, just watching my phone. The notification came. I opened it. My house. Taken from the front yard. My front door visible in the frame. The lights inside. The exact angle you would have if you were standing in the dark looking in. We ran outside. Nothing. The street was empty and quiet. We split up. He took the front. I went around back. Another snap loaded as I was moving through the gate. My back door. I yelled for my friend to come around. He came running. As I pushed open the gate, I saw something moving in the backyard. A shape, dark clothing, already running. We chased, but it was too dark and the yards back there connect to an alley and he was already gone. My friend stayed for a couple of hours. When he finally left, I locked every door, every window, and lay in bed staring at the ceiling. I did not sleep. In the morning, I checked my phone. 3 new snaps from Hector. The first was a window on the side of my house. The second was a window at the back. The third was my bedroom window. He had circled the house while I was lying awake inside. I blocked him. I reported him to Snapchat. I got back a copy-pasted automated message that meant nothing. A week later, I followed up. Same response. Nothing was ever done. I never found out who he was. I never found out how he knew my username, my name, or my address. I never found out what he wanted. And sometimes, late at night, I still wonder if he ever found out how close he came. 3 phones. 3 notifications. 3 ordinary nights that became something no one should ever have to live through. The terrifying thing about all 3 of these stories is how they started. Not with something dramatic. Not with a warning sign. They started with a notification. The same kind you get 50 times a day. The same sound. The same little icon. The same reflex to tap and open. These people did exactly what you and I do every single night. And that is what makes it so hard to forget. Because the app is still there on your phone. And somewhere out there, someone you have never met may already be watching your story. They know what you look like. They know what time you go to bed. They know what your street looks like because you snapped it last Tuesday without a second thought. So before you post your next story, before you open your next notification, take 1 second. Look at the background of the photo someone just sent you. Look at what is standing just outside the frame. Because not everything that disappears in 10 seconds is gone. Some things stay with you forever. Stay safe, and maybe keep your windows locked tonight.